Welcome to Michigan's WW1 Centennial News Report for May 2013. I'm host Dennis Skupinski. During this episode, we're going to go to Michigan's Military, Technical, and Historical Society Museum on Stevenson Road in East Point, Michigan. We're going to get a chance to hear what Chris Cosley, president of the museum, has to say about his museum and the First World War Centennial. We're also going to meet a special guest, a World War II veteran who we met in the museum, and she tells her story. We're going to learn about the 6th Detachment Air Service Air Production and a special member of the team, Edgar A. And finally, we're going to learn about the WW1 Commemorative Coin, which will be minted and produced in the year 2017. H.R. 4107 will allow the U.S. Mint to produce up to 350,000 silver dollars that will be issued in the calendar year of 2017 to mark the centennial of the entry of the United States into the First World War. The U.S. formally declared war against Germany on April 6, 1917. Typical of other modern commemoratives, the WW1 coins will be struck to both proof and uncirculated condition from 90% silver and 10% copper with standard specifications to include a weight of 26.73 grams and a diameter of 1.5 inches. The terms of the Act do entail a departure from a typical design process for the commemorative coin. Instead of a U.S. Mint artist creating the design for review and selection, a public design competition will be held with the winner selected by an expert jury chaired by the U.S. Treasury Secretary and 3 members of the Citizen Coinage Advisory Committee. A $10 surcharge on the sale of each WW1 Silver Dollar will be collected by the U.S. Mint and forwarded to the WW1 Memorial Foundation. This will be for the restoration and rededication of the monument, which is now the District of Columbia War Memorial. It will soon become the National and District of Columbia WW1 Memorial.
Chris Cosley. I'm the president of the Michigan Military, Technical, and Historical Society located in East Point, Michigan. Our mission is to tell the story of Michigan's contribution to 20th century conflict. We tell the story of the role of Michigan's people in World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, and all the way through the current day. Next year, 2014, will be the 100th anniversary of the beginning of World War I. And our intention is to do something here at the museum to celebrate and chronicle the role that Michigan played in the Great War.
The museum has a number of interesting displays from the First World War up until the present, but we're going to focus today on the First World War displays. The most interesting and unique is the Michigan State Troops. This was an organization that was formed April 17, 1917. The Michigan State Troops were designed to serve within the state of Michigan at the discretion of the governor. They were equipped with leftover equipment from the U.S. Army and the Michigan National Guard. The unit was designed to fill the gaps left by the Michigan National Guard as they were being federalized and shipped overseas. These units could be used to protect important installations and also help the governor out whenever there was an emergency. In fact, the Michigan State Troops are still in existence today. Their name is the Michigan Volunteer Defense Force and are under the Department of Veterans Affairs. As we come to another display case, we see a doughboy's uniform, the helmet and the tunic. This is from the 85th or Custer Division. They served in Camp Custer, Michigan, which is located near Battle Creek, and then went over to France. Here's a display of a World War I helmet and a gas mask. Here is the 85th Division tunic and also the 14th or Wolverine Division, which also served at Camp Custer but never went overseas.
Don't of his skin. He pulled his hair up close to lava and he answered with on the wind. How you gonna keep 'em down on the farm after seeing Harry? How you gonna keep 'em away from Broadway, dancing around and thinking about? How you gonna keep 'em away from harm? That song is sorry. There never was to see a race or plow, and who's a few can...
While at the museum, I visited the library and came across a book titled 6th Detachment ASAP, which translated means 6th Detachment Air Service Air Production, a specialized unit based in Detroit that was designated to ensure the smooth flow of aircraft engines and parts for the Allied war cause. It contained a number of famous people, including the governor of Massachusetts, but perhaps his most famous was Edgar Guest. In fact, Mr. Guest wrote a poem about what the unit did during the First World War. The 6th Detachment by Edgar A. Guest. We weren't in the papers so much. We didn't reap much of the fame. When they're writing the story of all the glory, perhaps they won't mention our name. But there wasn't a job we neglected. In taking the past in review, I reckon today we can stand up and say we did what they gave us to do. We didn't sniff powder in battle. We didn't get into the gas. We weren't at the front, in the heat and the brunt, just daring the Boches to pass. But now that the fighting is over, and the planning and working are through, we can make this our boast that we stuck to the post and did what they gave us to do. We didn't get fed on excitement. We never caught sight of a ship. Though we hungered for France, they denied us the chance, and none of us packed a gripe. But we stuck to the duty like soldiers, and never a one was untrue. We missed all the fun of the war with the Hun, but we did what they gave us to do. One display that the visitor to the museum should not miss is that of the Willow Run Air Base.
And had to go through 4 different tag places, show our tag in 4 different places before we got to the area where we worked. And at that time, working that 24 hours, I was so tired that I just came home, and of course I was in the top bunk, and got up in the bunk and slept for 24 hours. But that's the only important thing I ever did, but I was glad to do it.
The museum is also hosting a temporary display, that is, the Walk of Honor World War II memorial bricks that are part of the fundraising operation for Michigan's World War II Memorial, which will be located on 13 Mile and Woodward. Once the funds have been raised and the construction is completed, these bricks will be laid at the base of the World War II Memorial.
One day, and said I can't resist. I really must have lived by heck. I hope to get that tanker bill I hear so much about. She get there. Until then, we'll show the way. Over the line and across the Rhine, shouting hip hip hooray. We'll sing Yankee Doodle under the linden with some real life Yankee pep. It's a long way to Berlin, but we'll